We're also live on Kick and Twitch at the moment. Yeah, we can't do the chat box. You see that as soon as I click away, it goes away, so I don't think that's an option right now. I'll figure out how to work on that, but make sure you guys also turn your quality up all the way. Streaming at max quality right now. 1440 by 60 FPS. I go live almost daily. I'll stream games and mostly trading, but I'm live right now currently on Kick, YouTube, and Twitch, so I use all three. But I'll throw the links down for the others if you're interested. But essentially, the Kick and Twitch are smaller accounts because I started them forever ago. Looks like Kick keeps. That's why the Kick. Sorry. Hold up. Looks like okay. I think I had to switch that over to normal latency on Twitch. Yep. Now let me get that link. There's a Twitch. And I'm gonna have to go into my settings on Kick because it's I have to adjust some settings on the Kick stream because it's not staying consistent. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna re-add my Twitch. My Kick to OBS because for some reason it's like starting then stopping. So I'm just gonna re-add all the links for it real quick. Almost there. Bam, look at that, guys. Seven 4 7. Okay. Let's re-adding this shit. Alright. Now let's see if we can keep it going on cake since it's having issues. Yeah, I keep saying having to reconnect. Yeah, that's really weird. It's probably this, actually. Yeah, let's see if that fixes it. Nope. Interesting. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to keep, this is the issue I'm having. Right here. It's gonna say reconnecting. Damn. Yeah. So it looks like cake won't be an option tonight. Cake just keeps going like this and restarting for whatever reason. See? It's really weird. Yep, oh well. That was my last shot at it. Don't know what's going on with it. Alright, and try that one more time. Nope. Alright, I'm just gonna focus on what I got going on because the kick is not going. Oh, here, I can show it. It's right there on the bottom. What's up, Joker? My bad. I was checking the fucking kick. I was having issues. But that ain't no big deal, because we got it. We got the other platforms going. And Jeff asks if you're still in here as well. Like, since you're holding your long, don't panic if we swipe this area of liquidity, which can happen. It would be even more valid for us to head up. Appreciate the follow, Joker. I'm gonna check a damn preview of my stream. It's telling me I have a little bit rate, but the bit rate's running fine. I'm gonna check a damn preview of my stream. It's telling me I have a little. Yep, it's just fine. Yeah, the real 322 gaming. Here, I'll show you real quick. Appreciate you joining up. So, entered aggressively off the swipe of liquidity after I saw the price wedge forming. I saw right here another test of these lows, right? And I'm seeing us hold this wedge, so I decided to then use pretty much all of the margin after I had some more confirmation. But if we break below this demand, I will scale out with some of those positions, not all, and wait for price to react off of this area of liquidity, then scale back in. So I'm kind of scaling my positions with the market, but right here, these three lines are my entries right now for longs. Yes, sir. Nice, Kyle. That's what I'm talking about. I feel like I usually game and trade too, but sometimes when I'm streaming, my plan is so I might. No, the real 322 gaming, I'm mostly, actually opposite, I mostly trade foreign exchange, but we have a channel that we're creating, just like we created before. It was between 92 to 95. We're creating another channel, which when there's good price action and good structure on cryptos, that's when I'll kind of jump in, but most of the time they don't have good structure. But Kyle, after I hit this long to this area, I'm gonna go in on a short, and then I'll stream some Schedule 1 tonight. What I'm doing right now is I'm just moving, instead of having two take profits, I'm moving all of mine. Since moves like a more valid, I'm moving all of mine to the swipe liquidity, which would hit for 500, 100, or 100, so 800. And then it looks like Kyle's entry is going to be filling here soon. 96.50. About right there. But real quick, oops, my bad. While I head to the restroom, I'll let you guys refer to this. It's kind of what we got going on. Alrighty, I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. You still here, Kyle? If you are, your position's going to be coming here shortly. We're at 96. You said 96.50, I believe. Yep, 96, 650. So for 96, 650, that's a little too high, Kyle, I'm not going to lie. So you're looking to jump in 96, 550, like right around here. I think that's too high. If I were you, I would, if you want to feel comfortable in the entry, I'd wait for it to break through. We're just doing retest to this wedge, just like how in my drawing, which has been following to a T. Wait for the retest of the wedge and then enter, and that would be optimal. But entering in all the way up here after the breakthrough and retest is more risky. And also throw down in the comments how the stream's going, if there's any interruptions at all, because YouTube keeps telling me that the bit rate's messed up, but if I go to OBS, it's disagreeing, and it's running just fine. The bit rate's messed up. But the real 322 gaming, if you're looking for an entry, like shown right here in my path, which it's followed perfectly, I would wait for it to break through. It's going to test this area, come back down, retest to this area of the wedge. Yeah. Yes, I'd like to see that you fix that correction, because I read it as that. I read it as 95, 650, because that would be my logical entry. That's what I'm talking about, Kyle. No problem, man. Yes, tune in any of these anytime. I've been doing it for a long time, and then just this year I'm finding myself valid to teach it, because just this year I really studied liquidity, and it was the opposite of what I thought. But with that being said, anything I'm teaching right now for free has a value. Same with these positions. And Kyle, don't trip. Like I said, don't trip if we see price follow my path. I expect price to come up to this area, reject manipulating people to the downside, but in all actuality, look, oh, that price wedge I had popped out wasn't a good one. I know this isn't Forex, but price action is price action. So like, usually wedges have a retest, so I don't know why right here, this is This is right here how wedges usually happen. Look, so we broke out of the wedge. Price came back down lower than it did manipulating people, but bounced off the wedge, just like as I was saying. That's kind of like what we're looking for in here. And also, let's see. So Sol, see, that's convenient. So Sol isn't on this broker, but I trade with like 4 different brokers. And if you guys want the names of the brokers, just let me know. But yeah, right here. So look, bam. So you're talking about that Sol entry when we're like right here. On the bigger time frames, I already talked about everything. We have all those confluences with the change of immediate market structure. So if you're still looking for that long on Sol, or Sal, I would pronounce it Sol, I would enter in like damn near now, to be honest. Because we already swiped liquidity. We broke through the old resistance. On top of all of that, we tested that new support, which was former resistance, which happens to be very conveniently at our equilibrium. So honestly, I would enter the Sol position now if you're still looking into that. And this is not financial advice. This is just what I would do. So back to Bitcoin. Back to Bitcoin, it looks like we're having the reaction. We're testing this area, which I expect. I expect us to react back down. And if you're looking to scale back in for like the most probable move, and like what I'm going to do is once we go back down to the wedge to test it, I'm going back in with even more margin. Nice, guys. Congratulations, YouTube. YouTube did the best out of all of them tonight. And we're about to hit 70 people in and out for the night. The average view time of 4 minutes, so at least people are getting some information. So it looks like even we're having that retest to the wedge right now, possibly. Yep. So if I would scale in even more. I'm gonna check this for confluence. See the robot. This is why you don't listen to these. Robot told him to buy. Got liquidated. Earlier I said, when we were right here, I said we were forming a double bottom. Look what we are. And while we're waiting for this, I'm gonna try to add a kick back in. Just having issues starting. Looks like kick is just gonna keep doing its thing. Disconnects, reconnects, disconnects, reconnects. I don't know what's up with it. Yeah, it keeps doing that. Oh well. Let's try this one last time again. Yeah, it's not gonna work with Yep, oh well. Done wasting time on that. Kick is having issues tonight. Just trying to get the kick stream up, but it's not working, so it's alright though. It's like starting up and then non-stopping. Here's what it is. Also, what's your, Kyle, what's your target now that you're entering in? On immediate price action, we've seen it go up, have a reaction, like I said it would. We've seen it come down, test the wedge, bounce up off the wedge. Still there, cop? Yeah, I can see that being valid. That's like for a safer target. But like leading back to what I was talking about earlier, like the idea of liquidity. Right here, this is the example I want to pop up. So if we're looking at it on the 15-minute, we have the swipe up, price coming down. With all honesty, this would be like the best risk to reward as far as your take profit. So if we're looking at this, like I showed earlier, it's the same thing. Liquidity was taken, sold down, equal lows. Yeah, I don't use like RSI and stuff like that too much anymore. You can use them for like SMT divergences, but with that being said, like RSI and like moving averages and like MACD, all those things don't understand liquidity. So all those things don't understand this right here, that price was taking liquidity, sitting down here, and now this area is a magnet for price. Just like how if we're looking on this robot, you see how they're like buy, then they got stopped out. The moving averages, the MACD, the RSIs, and everything lined up for it right here to buy, but we took liquidity down here, right? And this is just trend line liquidity. With that being said, the robots and everything that goes off of MSI, MACD, all that shit, even Ichimushu Cloud, they don't see like a lot of the shit that happens in the markets. Now I can even adjust this price wedge. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. 97,500 looks like more of a optimal take profit, because what I believe we'll see is, we'll go up to here. This is how liquidity works, real shit. We'll go up to here. We'll have price get resisted here, tricking people to go into shorts already. Then we'll fucking, the whales, what they gotta do is they literally have billions of dollars of orders they gotta fill to the short side. So to do so, they have to get those orders, and how do they do it? So anybody who went in on short right here, they have their stop loss up here. So price will go like this, get pushed up into the stop loss against their way, take them out, and we'll conveniently see price reverse after they're taken out, because those orders that are being stopped out. And on the flip side, you have people that have buy limits right here. You have people that have buy limits, thinking that once it bounces off of here and comes up here, it's a buy. But price goes up, stops people out of their sells. Then it will come down from this area, stop people out of their longs, thus giving all of the orders to the whales to then fill the price back to the downside. So we will see manipulation and another swipe of liquidity, creating a equal high, then to the downside. or like within here. I adjusted the price wedge a little bit. I had the price wedge like a little off. If I go like even here, and then it's kind of like where I would put it, in line with these. See? You can go like this. So now it looks a little cleaner. And what are we seeing? We're just seeing price still maintain that wedge. It's a cool thing about price wedges. They're not like channels, like an ascending and descending channel. Those like break out randomly. These make I'm gonna get up and get a light. Check my preview first. Yeah, it's kind of dark in here. Let me get a light. Getting a light real fast, guys. Damn, that clip's hella strong. Put the fucking halo light up here. Sorry guys, I'm almost done. Is that a booger? Oh, absolutely, Kyle. That game is so lit. Me and my buddy, I'm not talking down any streamers or anything, but me and my buddy, we went in last night. We went in with a net worth of 270,000, and we left with a net worth in the casino in the game. We left with a net worth of 390. And I have that streams on my past streams on YouTube. It's wild. That was just last night, but it depends how much longer this move would take for. And also, if I get enough requests, I could just start the game up, and then I could like go back to the price as we need. Oh yeah, just check the preview. The light helps. It's just kind of bright, but it's what it is. Remember guys, we're still within this wedge, so don't trip. Yeah, next time I stream, schedule 1's gonna be lit, because like I said, I have like about $400,000 net worth in the warehouse spot, car wash, laundromat, and the post office. Let's check out. Oh, Kyle, did you end up taking that position on Soul as well? I'm just curious. I'm checking up on it again. if you did take a position with sold, don't trip. Look at how wild this is. So I just put in the Fibonacci retrace, right? From here to here. Look what we did. Bam. Literally to a T. And this is sold, guys. So I put this line right at the 50% mark. Look what we did. See how that works? And all that is just literally the halfway from here to here. Halfway. And that's equilibrium. So all these crazy words and stuff really aren't that complicated. It's just 50%, which I already see. So try to implement that in your guys' brain. Like if you see like something like this, like see, okay, here to here, 50%. Yeah, nice. I had to come back to here to see the move is still validated, and I would consider it. So, like I said, 0.5 fib, here to here. It's right where we tested. That ain't no biggie. Leading back to Bitcoin. On Bitcoin, I like what I'm seeing. We're seeing price start to consolidate right on the top of the wedge. When you see price consolidate on the top of the wedge, that's usually before it breaks out of the wedge. These are just for references as well. So like, trying to see like a valid price right here. Look, this is technically a descending channel because these ends don't meet up. It's still kind of like the same idea. So you got price wedging. Now look, it consolidated near the resistance and then bam. What we got right here? Wedging, consolidate near resistance. Back to Sol. For Sol, I would have your stop loss. Hopefully it didn't go in very risky, but I would have your stop loss for Sol right here. At this reaction, actually I would have it below that. I would have your stop loss for Sol at around 142.7 to compensate for price to potentially bounce off of there. But we'll see what we're working with. If I see like a strong, hey, nice guys, we just hit the 70th viewer tonight on YouTube. YouTube's really balling tonight. Helped a few people out as well. But if you're still in on that long, if we see a break below the wedge, like strongly, and break below this demand, I would de-risk at that point. But right now we're good. What I see right now is just this right here. Broke above this. We already seen reaction off of it, which we should again. I'm gonna also keep that popped up in this window. Just to kind of walk you through this Sol trade. I'll keep this line on there too for you guys. So due to market structure, old resistance becomes new support, right? We have an original take of liquidity, trendline liquidity. That take of liquidity is our head, and if you look up a head and shoulders pattern, you have the head, shoulder, shoulder. Neckline is right here. We already broke above the neckline. We're retesting that neckline again. Check over here for confirmation. Still nothing yet in here, but as you can clearly see, the old resistance is becoming new support. exactly right here. Bam. Yeah, preach that shit. 97,500. I specifically have mine at 97,714. But I would keep yours at 97,500 to compensate for a bearish fair value gap. If you guys heard in the beginning of the stream, we started stream around we started stream around here. Marked out the price wedge out as it was being formed. Marked out demand first off. And all this trade is, guys, is right here. We have the Fibonacci on the 4 hour, right? Bam, bam. What do we see? 50%, right? So it's literally all mimicking each other in every single time frame. So the move behind this trade is bounce off the 50% back to that high before we go low. Also, Kyle, how's the stream going? Are we having like interruptions? Are we having how's it going? See on Sol had that take of liquidity, V-shaped reversal right off of the old resistance, right? That's what's kind of like behind the Sol trade when Kyle asked. I lowered the bit rate in hopes of Twitch is telling me that the bit rate is too high, so lowering the bit rate a tiny bit on Twitch to keep that rolling. Still tells me it's too high, but I'm not tripping. So we see hammerhead candle, hammerhead candle. See? Hammer. 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 And this is a cleaner hammer because it has no wick on top. mean, it seems to be running fine on Twitch. It's telling me the shit's too high, but seems to be fine. It's capping. Since Twitch is capping, I'm just gonna have a YouTube preview for you guys. And look, we're kosher. Why? I mean, what do we have keeping us down the top of the wedge? What do we have keeping us up? Demand, the wedge, the take of liquidity. Oops. Fuck, let me bring that back. And also, look, have we had like any takes of liquidity to the upside? No. So look, this swipe was within this resistance, right? This swipe was below this support. See what I'm saying? This support, this swipe broke below it. And when I placed that line, that swipe proved an area of consolidation, an area of heavy reaction. If you're still in that sold position, Kyle, like I said, I would maintain. Right now, we're at another area of support. And we have beautiful reaction off of that old resistance again on Bitcoin. Check out this shirt, guys. It's pretty badass. Got it from a festival a few years ago. It's pretty dope. You guys have any questions or comments, throw them down. So we can see the pinned message I helped out a few people already tonight. Don't trip, guys. We can see one of two things. We can see just another test down to the bottom of this wedge, or we can see price pull down to this area of liquid. We can even see it fake people out. We see one of three things. It busts below out of this wedge and on up, come down to demand. This is a second scenario, or the best scenario would be for price to come down and swipe this liquidity. But from what I'm seeing, it already swiped that liquidity. Share this if you guys found any value in it. Share it if you can. I appreciate it. We'll I'm trying to hit we're at 74 for the night. It'd be cool if we can hit 100 for the first time. We see a few formations taking place. The most important formation would be this. So this picture originally is a head and shoulders that is bearish, but if you just tip it upside down, then it becomes a bullish one, which I did. I just flipped the picture upside down. And what we see is left shoulder, which is right here, left shoulder. The head, which was made on this swipe of liquidity. The head, right? And look, this shoulder and this shoulder are equal. Look, this shoulder and this shoulder are equal, right? And the neckline's right here, right? So what we're seeing is we already seen a breakout of that neckline. We're testing that neckline. Now we'll really see price react, because since we're testing that neckline after we broke through it, that is the usual entry for everybody in the market. So if I were to flip this back around, so look, broke below the neckline, right? The target, L from breakdown, right? Look at L. So L, target, they're looking to enter right here, which would be the opposite of what we're doing. They're looking to enter right here, the break of that neckline, right? We broke that neckline. They're looking to enter right here. Retest the neckline. And I switch it to the 5 minute to kind of clean things up for you guys. And a lot of folks might be seeing this and be like, oh my God, it's a double top. I wouldn't think so, buddy boy, because look, you literally have an ascending trend on the bottom of that double top. That's not how that works. As we can see happening right now, we see price reacting up off the bottom of that wedge. And I'll take the microphone with him. I'm about to do a quick tote. Quick tote, quick tote. I can see it from here. Price is testing the wedge. No big deal. If you look in the past, during the stream tonight, it's tested the wedge multiple times. That's the nature of a wedge. Young double blinker in the building. That's major. Alright, I'm coming back. Come back. Don't worry, y'all. You still here, Kyle? Just want to make sure I'm holding these trades. And how's the audio, guys? I know the webcam shit. I'm using it off of my ROG's F4s at Game PC. But that being said, we had a viewer. My goal was to get affiliated on Twitch, and we'll up our webcam. But a viewer gifted me a webcam, so we should have a better webcam starting like next stream. We'll have a full-on 4K webcam, because that's the last thing we're lacking other than the microphone. If you guys ever want to use your phone as a microphone, It's called Woo Mic. I have the paid version to give myself the best quality of sound, but yeah, you connect Woo Mic, and then you can connect via Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, appreciate you hanging in there, Kyle. Yeah, looking at it right here. Hope you're still holding the soul trade. Like I said, I would put stop loss like right here. I'd put stop loss at 142.7, as said before, because it lies below here. Everyone puts their stop loss right here and gets stopped out before price heads up. Personally, if I'm trading like lower risk and I'm not watching the trade, I'll put a stop loss in. But liquidity, if you study liquidity, liquidity is made to hit your stop loss. Stop is in, damn. Oh, okay, you entered it. I thought you were saying that it hit stop loss, but yeah, I would put stop loss right here, right? Because now we're creating a bullish fair value gap. Because look, the lows right here, these lows, I mean these highs right here, topped out right here. This didn't even go down to that old ceiling, so that's a bullish fair value gap because we have this gap right here. And I bet here, I'll look it up. I'm assuming they have a positive correlation, right? Everyone right here has some like bullshit. So yeah, it has a positive correlation, like I guessed. Okay. Yep. Reserve correlation between altcoins and Bitcoins are positive. But that's subjective because there's different altcoins on different blockchains, but I'm assuming they're talking about Sol. Okay, the correlation coefficient is particularly positive between Bitcoin and others, but that's not always. Depends on the blockchain. Well, most likely tomorrow we'll stream Schedule 1. This trade's just taking a little longer than anticipated. So I'm looking to stream Schedule 1 like tomorrow. And then at some point too, I'll get live for a little bit for a pre-market analysis. Before we have, we'll have Asian open tomorrow night. And if we look right here to hold for more like confluence in your Sol trade, if we're looking at it right here in the 15-minute, we have a change of market structure, right? And even before that, we can see the market structure beginning to change. Then, like I said, we grabbed liquidity down here, which lied below these lows, and as I saw earlier, was in an area of consolidation and high reaction right here. Consolidation, high reaction. Like even like the same thing, but reverse right here, we grab liquidity outside of these highs to the down. Now we grab liquidity outside of these lows and back up. And your TP, I would say your take profit on Sol to 152.4, me personally. Because all that would just be us completing the channel. Because right now, on Sol, where are we at? You can damn near probably answer it for me, guys. Equilibrium. It's either 50%. We're still in that 50% range. Caddy backing back to Bitcoin. Like I said, we're still in this wedge. That's the nature. Sorry. It's got some fucking juice in my mouth from space, but that's the nature of a price wedge. It wedges. It be wedging. And I hate just to fix this misconception that I see a lot of people have in here. So these people got it right. Right, look, it's an actual wedge. But a lot of people in here, they have like descending channels. For example, right here, this is the descending channel. They have those in as wedges. This is an ascending channel. We don't see the price wedge into the edge, the wedge. A wedge would be the price going in this direction and this flip-flopped, and it making its way down to a actual wedge. Even this right here, this is an ascending channel. So I don't know how people get that mixed up. Because looking at this, does this look like a wedge? No, it looks like an ascending channel. Sorry for the typo. Bam, look. See, that's exactly what the fuck they had in that last picture. So I'm just throwing this out there for you guys to not misconceive that, because I'm seeing a lot of these people are, if I even look up price wedge, you see a lot of them are ascending channels. So this is not a price wedge either. This is a descending channel, breakout of a descending channel. See, it's exactly what we just saw, which is what it is. See, descending channel, and break out of it, not a price wedge. Back to Bitcoin. Check out Sol first. Looking a little sketchy, but it's alright. Bitcoin, not looking sketchy at the moment. And I'll kind of peek at Sol here and there, but my main focus right now is Bitcoin since we're in on it. And if you look at the price path I put in earlier. I put in this path all the way right here. All my life. You can go to the beginning of the stream. Look at price following my fucking path. Literally following my path to a T. And I expected it to break out right here and go back. So guys, throw a fucking like down, do something for that, because I put down this fucking path hours ago, and look at this. I'm even gonna save this for my own documentation. Like, this shit's crazy. But you look at this shit for 7 years every day, you ought to pick fucking something up. Because you need to do your research and also look into what trading style you have, then build off of that and kind of create your own. With that being said, I've seen so many price wedges within time. But this price wedge, if you've just seen this wedge itself, and that's it, never take a trade just off of the wedge. You have to go through, like I have. You do your top-down analysis, marking out your highs and lows, which I already kind of mentally have down. Then you come in here, and you look for an entry, and you look for a change of market structure, which comes from a take of liquidity, right? Which we have here. We see the take of liquidity, and I've seen all these things before I even saw the price wedge, so that kind of came after. But on top of all those things, then I saw the price wedge, so that's how I know it's a bullish price wedge, because I've seen all those things in line with it. Also, I haven't even looked at the weekly on here, but if I look at the weekly, so if we look at the weekly, sorry for that bullshit in the way, but look, when we look at the weekly, normal traders would see this and be like, oh, this is resistance. This means sell. But no, look. if we had previous price action, we'd see that, look, would be, oh, this is a resistance, there would be resistance here. No, price went up and took out highs. So while people are going short here, they don't realize that liquidity is actually lying up here, and it needs to take liquidity before it goes to the downside, which is like the whole thought process behind our trade tonight. Is we're taking that liquidity, we're gonna take that move up, then jump out. So if we look in here, I checked these for confirmation. I just popped this up, and someone's saying in here TP 96,600. Buddy, you're mistaken. Look, so 96,600 is too of a stereotypical take profit in my opinion. Because look, we're looking 96,600. All that is just where these resistances. This resistance is. That's not. That's something that price is going to go past. And if you disagree with me, you can argue with this picture right here. So that's like saying that we're going to have to take profit right here because price has been resisted down there, right? See? That would be like me saying we're going to take profit right here, which is 96,660. But no, they're looking to enter in on a sell right here, which would be right here, which ultimately we plan on doing, guys. We plan to, we plan to just literally take this trade up to this grab liquidity, which usually happens quickly. So that's the whole reason why I'm even here sitting with you guys. You want to hit a trade like this, you want to hit a trade that is like a swipe of liquidity, then we'll win on both sides of the markets, because after we swipe liquidity, then our real move is in for the sells. Right? If we're looking back on the weekly, there's a resistance. We needed to swipe liquidity, and then we'll come down to the weekly equilibrium. But yeah, look at that. See that, Kyle? If you're watching, look. You see, I initially wanted to put your stops right here, but look, that's why you would have gotten stopped out, and it's heading in the right direction. So that's why we put our stop loss down here. Why? Because it lies below these resistances. It's where liquidity lies. Right here, you're beginning to see a change in market structure. And what I can see happening, like this, is a classical double bottom, like a textbook double bottom. So I'll leave this drawing on there, and we'll see how it reacts to this drawing. But on Sol, guys, I'm seeing a double bottom. We saw in Bitcoin. Bitcoin really did react really nicely in this area, which was the bottom of the wedge. And while I'm reading this, reading these candles, kind of like Braille. Like, as you learn these candles over time, you'll literally learn. They tell you millions of things. Well, as I'm looking, okay, shooting star candle. This is a shooting star candle, right? And these candles don't really mean much because they're 1 minute, but check that out. So I'm looking at this. I see a lot of doji candles. That's showing that price is having a shift in the overall market flow, and in this case would be bullish. we can get to 230 subs tonight, the 230th one will get a sub too. Yeah, Kyle, if you're looking, this is kind of like my immediate projection on Sol. I believe we're forming a double bottom. If you guys are in on Sol, I would definitely hold along. We took liquidity right here, created a V-shaped formation. Your guys' target is just right here. These relative equal highs that need to be taken out. Great, my shit just died. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna plug this damn vape in and then run to the restroom. I'm gonna set a timer for literally just a couple minutes. And I'm confident, so one thing you guys can learn off me that I implemented in my trading plan is like, if you can't walk away from the trade till you like use the restroom or do something for like 10-15 minutes, you should not be in it. If you have enough confirmation to be in the trade and walk away for a little bit, I'm not talking all day, just for a little bit, then that's more of a reason you should be in the trade. So start like that mentality like in your head, like don't be in the market if you feel like you can't walk away from it for a second. We're seeing some resistance right here. I can still walk away from this because I have stop loss below this demand. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, the joys of having a wireless mic. Have you guys connected on over to my AirPod? Alrighty, let me take the text off the screen. So we're interested in long, guys. We're actually in a long right now due to this price wedge. This is Saul. I had a viewer on YouTube request analysis on Soul, so I'm kind of holding about in this trade for validation. There we go. Just looking for my damn other hat. Oh, one more thing, right over here. I plugged that vape in. I'm going to grab it now. So, guys, 7 years ago, I started in crypto. Back at around like $5,000 a coin, 5,000 to 3,000. I was trading through, and crypto still is valid, as we see, but not as much as foreign exchange. So if you guys want to learn how to get hooked on a broker like this, how to trade forex, just for one, subscribe or follow whichever platform you're watching on. We're live on 3, Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. With that being said, just join in on one of my sessions of forex, like during the week, and then if you guys have any questions of brokers, I can get you guys. And there's no referral links. Like I got in way before all that GameStop bullshit. And with that being said, it brought in a lot of hype investors that like want you to sign up with their code and all this bullshit. No, there's no code. It's just there's KOT Forex. That's one of the brokers I use, the one I've been using for the longest. And there's different brokers you can just go sign up for, and there's no correlation with me and you signing up with the broker. There's not even the code, nothing. I don't benefit from it. Honestly, I benefit from the fulfillment of being the person I wish I had when in my trading journey. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, most of what you learn for like the first 3 years turns out to be damn near the opposite. Because shout out to Jeff. We had Jeff in the stream earlier. The pinned comment. Jeff went he went long earlier, and I'm not talking down at all or anything like that. I'm just using it as a lesson. And he's gonna end up break even because he's gonna hold. I give him the reasons why too, but he went long here. I don't blame him. Me last year, I would have even gone long because you see this and you see a breakthrough, right? To go way back. Right here. So imagine you're seeing price. You see an obvious uptrend. Trend is your friend. You go right here. And I'm saying what not to do, guys. I'm saying this is what liquidity is made for, is to trick people. So your normal market structure you've learned for like, you've been doing it for like up to like 3 or 4 years. Maybe it's like 4. Resistance, right? Wow, what we see, we broke out of that resistance. Long, right? It's exactly where no, sorry, a little further after that. Right here, sorry. Alright, you're seeing, okay, resistance. Right here, we broke out of it. So you're like, okay, due to market structure, previous resistance becomes new support. That's how it's supposed to work, right? But look, the reason why that breakout and retest was not valid, because look where it happens to be. We're overly extended, we're unbalanced, right? If we were to mark out like we did where it tested to, look on the daily, we swiped up to this area that is, for one, above resistance, for two, proven within a long period of time to be an area of high consolidation, of area of high reaction. So like I said, it's damn near the opposite of what you've learned, because you see that breakout and you see that retest. Yes, that typically would be a long, but in the broad spectrum of things, there was no confluence because we were in supply. We were in resistance. So if I was sitting right here in the market and I seen a swipe up like that, I would put a line here, then go back in the past just like I did, like right after that swipe happened. And if you see this swipe in the area of high consolidation, high reaction outside of resistance, it's the opposite of what you would normally do. You would actually go short because you have the other confluences in the higher time frame of liquidity. You have the past history of this being liquidity. So while the whole market's going long right here, like Jeff did, and Jeff, don't worry, you'll be fine. You'll make it out of that trade. You would be going long, right? But that's how liquidity works. The bears, so you have different sides of the markets, a lot of them. So I said bears, I meant whales. So the big billionaires and financial institutions that move billions of dollars, enough to actually move the price of Bitcoin, they see a sell coming, right? So what do? They don't have the ability to fill all of their billions of dollars of orders. They would have something called staggering entries. Their entries would be staggered and fill as they are available. They need to be filled all at once to create a good solid entry. And how do they do that? They buy. They know it's going to go down, so they push the price in the opposite direction, right? Where the liquidity lies, which happens to be, if people were going short right here, bam, it would hit their fucking stop loss. If people were going long right here, bam, it would hit their fucking stop loss as well. So with these stop losses being hit, and with the pending orders being taken, that's what liquidity is. It came up here, reacted with all those orders, and then bam. Now the whales, the ones using billions of dollars of orders, then have charge of the market because they have those orders finessed, like straight up stolen from the retail traders that were going in a position. And if they're going short, yes, they're ultimately right, but they went too early. Their stops got hit because they went too early. They didn't wait for the swipe of liquidity, right? And it's all the same thing for the downside. If we're talking the downside, it's all the same thing. So, Kyle, also hopefully you put your stops, like I'm saying, like right around this area. If you're still here, put it a little bit below this area, in my opinion, a tiny bit below, because we could literally create equal lows and then head up, and that'd be shitty if you get stopped out at this equal low. But I'm only back to Sol because look, like what I just explained last, that liquidity being taken for it to go up. I meant for it to go down. Now imagine what I just explained, but it vice versa. It flipped around. On Sol right here, okay, below this resistance, we've seen price swing, creating a swing low. That's exactly what we call it. There's three ways of liquidity. There's trendline liquidity, swing low, swing high. This is a swing low, right? We had our swing low, a push up, we're at equilibrium, right? But main thing is, on Sol, I would hold your longs, because on Sol, we took liquidity on a 30-minute, right? Look what happened last time on Sol. Last time we took liquidity. We took liquidity. Bam. That liquidity lied below these lows, stopping folks out. Bam. And immediately right after that, where we have another swing of liquidity below these highs. Right? And it's creating this channel. like I said a moment ago, Kyle, if you're hearing me, I would put your stop at 142.5, like specifically, just so that way, like from even what I'm explaining, liquidity, so that way you don't get stopped out due to liquidity. And if we're looking at this wedge, one thing you guys can do and pick up after me is like as price forms itself, you can adjust and make your wedges cleaner. You'll kind of see like where price is actually wedging from, and you can make them cleaner. So like if I'm looking right here, I'm more or less wanting to go something like this. Something like this is more of a valid wedge. Kind of clean it up, and as you clean it up, if it's not in your favor, you'll see it's not doing what you want it to do, but in this case, as I'm cleaning it up, it's doing more of what I want it to do. So long. If you're still here, Kyle, type a W in chat. I'm only trying to keep you from a loss and soul, because the market's very manipulative. I'd put stops at 142.57. Yeah, Kyle, I would put your stop at 142.57. Actually, 142.56. Because like something that's happened for me in the past is you can literally get it to swipe below and then stop you out, and then continues in the right direction. The market wants to stop you out, but any of the people that got stopped out, I believe they already got stopped out right here. Then you had folks going long all up here, they got stopped out again, creating that effect I was telling you guys earlier. Those big orders, the billions of dollars in orders, need to be available one way or another. So how do they get available? They get available by taking price and swinging it the opposite direction of where it's actually going to go. Then it actually goes in the direction it wanted to go because the large orders can be filled. Bam. And mostly like what I'm explaining tonight and all of what I'm trading off of tonight is liquidity. Then I have confluences like market structure. I have confluences like even the weekend, the time, right? But I'm not taking this trade based off of support and resistance. No. Definitely not. I'm also taking this trade off of equilibrium. Equilibrium is a 50% range, 50% mark between a range. On the daily time frame here on Bitcoin, what we got? On the good old daily time frame on Bitcoin, we have us in equilibrium. And now we have a fucking on Sol. Hey Kyle, look at this. Kyle, I'm happy you fucking held that Sol trade, Kyle. Cause man, you're about to fucking eat. Bitcoin and Sol. Check this out, guys. Look, follow, like, fucking subscribe. I've been here for 3.5 hours, and my entries, like, this shit takes time. Like, Kyle, like, you will become a trader, mark my words. Because you've been here the longest, and anybody that's still sticking around, if you guys have enough patience to watch, and, like, not even watching me, but watching the price play itself out, then you guys have enough patience to be a trader. Like, without a doubt. Because anybody that comes in here for the average review time is 5 minutes. Anybody who comes in and sees this for 5 minutes and leave, well, they'll enter in a trade and get stopped out in 5 minutes, you know. But hey man, congratulations on that Sol trade. I'm happy I could help you out, because it's looking very, very, very nice right now. And that's why I was saying I had you move your stop loss below these, That's a better stop loss. Look straight up. Look at it this way, guys. Imagine, okay, you enter here. Your stop loss would be below these lows, because typically, if it broke below these, it's going to want to go down. But no, look, people entered in for a buy, got stopped the fuck out, finessed. And the same people probably entered for a sell because they saw it break below this zone. Then they got stopped out again on their sells. Why? Due to liquidity. And like down a definition, liquidity just means resting orders. Then you have takes of liquidity in the form of trend line and swing, which is a swing high or swing low. This would be trend line. This would be a grab of trend line liquidity right here, creating a V-shaped reversal. Also, Kyle, if you're watching, check that out. I did this like 20, 30 minutes ago. I put out this W. Price is following that shit to a fucking T. The reason why I held my trade and didn't de-risk at all is because we had price stay in our wedge. This robot still, this is why I don't listen, like I said, I don't listen to MACD, RSI, none of that, because this robot goes off of that, and look, they're still not saying a buy signal. But right here, they told them to buy to get fucking stop out and lose. And they're not, the robot's not saying a buy when it's actually a buy. And guys, like the power of like high leverage forex brokers are crazy, because look, so in all actuality, my target, my take profits right here, right, 97,600, using $1,500 margin. That'll be about 900 bucks. So, and price moving from 95,000 to 97,000, that's 900 bucks. It's pretty much $1,000 night. Big old BBC of a fucking bullish candle right here on Sol and Bitcoin. Having some reaction up here, and check that out, man. Look at that. I'm screenshotting that right now. Look at, I put this path in when price was right here. No lie. Followed the fucking path to a damn T. Yo, I'm even blowing my own fucking mind. I've put down paths before and it follows it to like this point. I've never put down a path that follows it all the way to a fucking T. It's literally meeting my path right here. That's absolutely insane. I don't even see $1 million traders do that. I'm not gonna lie. Download it again. That's absurd. And that's really hard to do because you can't just guess the price. That would be luck. There's no luck behind price completely following it. So what we see some reaction. What time is it? It's 2:19. So at 2:30, that's around psychological hour. And it's almost like pre-market manipulation. So like before around psychological times, you can get manipulation. So like for example, if I'm looking bullish and I went bull right before London open, 10 minutes before London open, a lot of times I'll see a push to the opposite direction to grab liquidity. Then at 2 o'clock, for example, 2 o'clock it would be going into London during the week, then you would see, bam, a market open, a reversal off of that manipulation. I appreciate it, Kyle. I don't usually trade on weekends, and I didn't really want to trade tonight, but right here is just too good of a opportunity not to, because we're just mimicking like what we had before. What we had before was just consolidation. And Kyle, since you've been pretty dope tonight, sticking around, I'll give you a subscription too. And if you're on Kick or Twitch, I'll also moderate you. I'm only giving out like subscriptions and moderations and shit in the early stages of this channel. To kind of like, you guys are the foundation. You guys are here in the beginning. So I'm giving you guys props, and you guys will be taught for free. Once again, I appreciate you guys. We're only 6 subs away from the 230 mark, so share or do whatever you guys can do, because at the whoever the 230th subscriber is will get subscribed to or moderated, whichever you guys want. Well, Kyle, I can add you as a moderator too. You're now a moderator, Kyle. Appreciate you sticking around. So like I said, look what time it is. It's 2:22. Like I predicted, we're seeing manipulation, and I'm predicting at 2:30 we'll see the breakout. Why? Just because, like, let's say you see a setup coming right before around psychological hour. Could be, it doesn't like to be like 2:40 and stuff. It's usually like like in the span of half an hour or a solid hour. Like you'll see volume come into the market pretty well. So if I go, I don't ever use volume to go off of. I just read strictly price action, but because I'm ahead of volume, so you guys will see at 2:30 when it hits, you guys will see a spike in volume. Create that fair value gap right here. So if you look, each time it's tested this one, it's gone all the way up to it. This one, it created that bullish fair value gap. Damn, I pinned that message, Kyle, saying 97,500. Because on the real. On the real. And guys, this price wedge, I didn't do the price wedge in any analysis or anything. The price wedge, I put in the price wedge as I seen it forming. And I can kind of give you guys like confirmation to stay in the trade. On top of on the 4-hour, we're right at equilibrium. Equilibrium means, like I've said, if you guys are just joining, equilibrium is a 50% from this range to this range. It's also called the 0.5 Fibonacci. Equilibrium 50%. That's like the most common things you'll hear people call it. But, and as we can see, look what happened. Demand was formed at the 50%. Sorry about that, guys. I had to plug something in real quick. I had the microphone switched over. We are 4 minutes away from 2:30. Now, if we look now, price finally isn't following the exact path I put down. But that was lucky for it to follow all of this path. I'm not saying the trade's invalid. The trade is perfectly valid. When putting down the path, I should have made it consolidate more in the wedge. Because we do have a price wedge. Okay, guys, I'm just checking the Twitch stream. I'm gonna have to change some settings before next stream. It's telling me the average bit rate's too high, but from what I'm seeing, it's not. So we'll just leave that as is. I'm seeing an SMT divergence. So since Sol and Bitcoin are correlated, and SMT divergence is we've seen right here that Bitcoin created a higher low, right? We've seen that Sol created a equal low. We see that Sol reacted off the equal low and now looks bullish just minutes later before Bitcoin. So due to SMT divergence, that's giving us intel that Bitcoin's about to have a reaction up off a relative equal low, which is happening right now. Relative equal low. We'll get that reaction up off it. And that right there, guys, is a SMT divergence. SMT, so Sarah, money, time, SMT divergence. I'll put it in the chat too. Smart money technique divergence. So that was an SMT divergence we're seeing right now. Created the equal low. Positive reaction off the equal low, right? You're looking for a buy above 96,507. Let me check it out. So in my humble, this is not financial advice. This is what I would do. So here's 96,507. I'll put a line out so we can kind of. Here's 502, close enough. If we're looking at it on the 30-minute. 502. If you're looking to go long in this area, that's not the best idea, in my humble opinion. Only reason being is because since we're going to get the reaction out of this price wedge that's a little high up. Personally, and I'm not going to trip either if we break below this demand, guys, because look, and if you're holding, make sure you have enough margin. We could very easily swipe this liquidity down here, then head to the upside, and that would be more ideal. But look, if I were you, we have this price wedge. I would definitely wait for a price to see like the path out down. Price going to break out of the price wedge and retest. This would be ultimate entry. If and when we see price break out of the wedge on the upside, sorry guys, then you want to wait for it to retest that wedge. And since we're in an area of demand with the breakthrough and retest on the wedge, that's optimal. So I would be looking for an entry around 95,900. But you don't want to enter in just crossing above that. You want price to go past that, reverse back down. Then once it has a reaction, a positive reaction off of the wedge, that is ideal. And looking at this right away, what do we see? Okay, 230 hit. My guess is that we'll see bullish pressure coming in around 230. Ooh, Kyle, hopefully you don't get stopped out in Sol. But hopefully also you put the stop loss below over here, like I said. Let's see. And guys, yes, we are unbalanced. We're overextended to the upside on the daily. But that's my point. We gotta create relatively equal highs by taking out this high. Then the next trade would be a short down to the equilibrium right here on the daily. So look, I'm not tripping, I'm not trifling on this, because look, it's a price wedge. We still got this much more of a wedge to go. Usually it goes up until this point. And juice up, I would definitely, you're valid on the part of a buy, but I would, like I said, I would wait for it to break out of this wedge and retest. Anybody disagreeing with me, you can look up a bullish price wedge. And as I explained to the stream earlier, a lot of people have descending channels or ascending channels as a price wedge. No, it has to actually be a wedge, and the price has to wedge into that area. It gets, literally pressure builds up, and then it breaks out that pressure. And what's already in our favor. Ooh, we might get stopped out, Kyle. Hopefully not. Hopefully you put them below these lows, like I said. And like I said earlier, if I see it break out of this wedge to the downside, all I'm going to do is take some of these positions out right here, because they're the closest, and I'll be de-risking and waiting for price to react off of here. But like I've been said since the stream started, we already grabbed liquidity right here, so I think this take of liquidity is promising enough. We created the wedge off of the take of liquidity, so we're seeing a lot of beautiful things line up. We're at equilibrium on the daily. I could just go on and on about all the confluences this has. We're now 6 subscribers away from 230 tonight. Like I said, if we hit 230 tonight, the 230th will get subscribed and moderated. And if you guys want to like get nerdy with it, we can have a teacup right here. See the cup? Here's the cup. Here's the handle. Cup, handle. And on the handle too, you can also get a swipe of liquidity. So that's no big deal. I just got a notification that another one of these bots are live. So look, we got good confirmation right here. We have this trader right here is agreeing with me. This trader has their long end, their stop loss right here, and all of their TPs. They entered a little early though. Yeah, Kyle, so we're anticipating on it just creating an equal low right here. And that's all. If you're looking right here, this bot, I'm just using this for confluence. It looks like they put their stop loss a little too tight, but we'll see. And that's sadly how liquidity works. Liquidity wants to hit your stop loss and take profit. But look, if we look right here immediately at my margin's a little higher than I would want. So I'm just going to take one of those off like that. And that was only a $141 loss. that's how you de-risk though. I did that so that way I can afford if we do draw down. Sorry about that, my stomach's growling, y'all. Even my stomach's ready to fucking have this trade fall through. We did not see the positive volume like I assumed that would be at 230. I'm guessing now we'll see it at 3. With foreign exchange, we would have more reaction at 230 than we did with Bitcoin. Hopefully they don't hit your stop loss. It's like right at it. It's doing that shit on purpose. Price literally touched 142.5, so let me know if you're still in. Hopefully you still are, because it literally just touched it. That's why, like I said, me in particular, I don't run stop losses unless like I'm fully away from the trade. If I'm on the trade watching it, I don't run them. I just de-risk as needed. Same thing, SMT divergence, a couple minutes, literally a few minutes before. Bitcoin is a lagging pair in this SMT divergence. We've seen the reaction off of that, and now we're beginning to see the reaction of Bitcoin. Sol is kind of like giving us a look into the future in Bitcoin through SMT divergence. Still checking for the SMT. I'm gonna turn down this light a little bit, guys. This shit's brighter than fuck. Look like my life hit stop loss. It almost looks like Bitcoin broke below the wedge. It didn't. Just look right here. See? Look on the 15-minute, it didn't break below the wedge. Right now, guys, we're just hopping in between. You have to do this with correlated pairs. So, like, if you're trading indices, a really good indices for SMT divergences is NASDAQ and S&P 500. Okay, we're seeing some reaction down. So if that's still the non-lagging pair, you might see some reaction down in Bitcoin. Hey Kyle, did that stop you out at all? Because it just touched 142.5, but not 142.5 on the dot. So if you put in 1.2.5 exactly, you should technically be fine, which is kind of wild. That is wild. Yeah, it says you're still in here, so hopefully you did 142.5, like you said exactly, like I told you, because that would be nice, because it would literally, and if you guys aren't even in on Soul, don't matter, because they're positively correlated pairs, as I looked up and confirmed. But look, 142, like, price literally hit. Usually I can adjust that in my keyboard, but not right now, apparently. Price literally touched 142.59. So you should be good still, Kyle. It shouldn't have stopped you out. That's wild though, guys. It literally hit just one increment or less than one away from his stop loss. And that's why I had him put a stop loss down here. Because the way price moves, it wants to stop you out. Ooh, looks like it might hit your stop loss now. Fuck. Okay, good shit. And I'll let you know if you need like more room involved, because if we break out of this wedge, like I said, price can sweep down on Bitcoin. Price can still sweep down to this area of liquidity right here. As said earlier, if we break below it, it would be the next entry right here. But we're making it to the end of the wedge, finally. Which took let me see. So from the time I started trading tonight, yeah, it's been from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's how long price wedges take. So patience pays, guys. Just wait for this price wedge to break out. On top of us having the swipe of liquidity, on top of us on the 4-hour testing equilibrium, 50% right here, which created a demand zone, which ultimately, on top of all of these things working together, I've showed this picture a million times during the stream tonight, but I keep it in here even for myself. Check this out, guys. My background is one of those pictures. So you can never like know too much in this field, like always study, always like Eat, sleep, breathe, shit the shit. But look, doesn't that kind of look awfully like... Here, that's better. Doesn't this right here look awfully alike though? Fuck. Done it? Swipe of the high, outside of resistance. Sell down. And on top of that, we had a take of equilibrium. Right? Swipe of the high. The tick of the equilibrium. Now we're right here, aiming for this to get taken out, as we see right here. Then take profits at trying to see the percentage of gain. Alright. It'd be like a 50% gain. So I'm just checking back in here for confluence. See this trader with last week's profits of 3,700. They agree with me. And what's cool is even before. So look, guys, this person started going live 14 minutes ago. So I was literally 4 hours ahead of their entry. So anybody just joining, we had on the 15-minute, we swiped liquidity. Price is down here creating a price wedge, getting ready to break out to the upside. My overall sentiment is bearish, right? You're probably thinking, why is he going bull? Liquidity. So in order for the bearish to be actually valid, we have price right here respecting equilibrium. We have to have it take out these highs before going to the downside in the big move. So we'll take these, then I'll enter and I'll sell once I see a change in market structure down to about 90,000. That'd be my next play. But essentially right now we're doing the play before the play. This will be the last time I show these pictures tonight, if I'm bothering you guys with them, but to like even more support what I'm saying is like, okay, we created that swing high. As I said right here, we can expect the price to come here to continue selling. So price wants to come up, take out these. So we're trading this buy up, then we'll trade this sell back down. That's why like trading in reality is like almost the opposite of what you learn first. Everyone's going in on sells right here, not realizing we're unbalanced. We have to take these out one more time. And that's just the way it works, because billions of dollars of orders cannot be entered in on one sell. They need to have price go up into that area of liquidity and stop people out, so that way they have those orders available to sell. Same thing, but vice versa right here. Right here. For them to push price up like we're beginning to see, they had to push price down, stopping people out. Look, you guys. Look what time it is. 2:56. As I noted earlier, it's like a form of pre-market manipulation which happens in Forex, especially indices. So right before around psychological hour, which happens a lot of times when market opens and close, you'll see a push to the right direction. So it's 56. We're getting almost like a pre-round psychological hour manipulation, I can call it. And it's usually weak, so we have that manipulation down, and we have the time leading up to 3 o'clock. And in my projection, at 3 o'clock, we'll begin to really see our, that's why I put the volume indicator down here, we'll really begin to see our bullish volume coming at 3 a.m. Central Standard Time. Oops. Looks like we're seeing already peaks of it right before. We're 2 minutes away. And I'm only just noting all this shit for you guys. Like, look out for these things, like, before around psychological hours. If you're still valid on your move and you're seeing, like, manipulation that makes no sense, that's the sense it's making. It's manipulating before the new hour. Also, another tool I'll throw down in the comments is right here. Obviously, we're closed, but start to use this tool. Start to use this tool to understand market hours and market sessions, right? And it will show you like the correlation between each session. You scroll down even further, you can see what pairs you should trade during those sessions, I believe. No, you can look that up on the side. You look up what pairs to trade during what session. And that's just meaning they'll have more volume. Oh, I forgot to throw that down there. Also, Kyle, what leverage are you going off of in your trades? I'm only asking because if you're not trading 1 to 500 leverage, I can get you hooked up with a unregulated broker that uses TradingView's charts. So they're unregulated, but they're trusted because they're using TradingView's charts. But with that being said, if you're not, anybody watching, if you're not trading 1 in 500 leverage, ask me how. because 1 in 500 leverage is the only way to actually make money. And the way I'm doing it is through a Forex broker. Then through that Forex broker, you have cryptos to trade. Once again, S&T divergence sold, closed out bullish. Bitcoin should be starting to see some bullish because Bitcoin is the lagging pair right now.